Premier League's final stretch, 8 teams in the race for glory. As Eddie Howe wrapped up his post-match press conference following Newcastle's draw with Brighton, the atmosphere was electric elsewhere. Chelsea, one of Newcastle's rivals for a coveted Champions League spot, had just taken an early lead against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. With a wry smile, Howe was quickly asked if he felt any frustration over Liverpool's decision to make 6 changes to their lineup after clinching the league title against Tottenham just a week prior. True to his character, calm and sincere, Howe responded, "Liverpool have got to do what Liverpool have got to do for them. I'm not involved in their football club, so I've got no opinion on that." And he was spot on. Criticizing other managers' choices can lead to a slippery slope, and every club has its own set of priorities. Liverpool, having secured the title early, is entitled to give their fringe players a chance to shine. It's not their concern how that impacts other teams. However, Chelsea certainly had an easier match than they might have faced had they played Liverpool a few weeks earlier when the title race was still hot. This is the nature of the Premier League. As the season winds down, different clubs have different motivations. It's not always as simple as saying that a team with nothing to play for will be easier to beat. Some teams, once their goals are achieved, might seem to relax, while others can actually thrive when the pressure is off. This season, however, feels particularly fragmented. Liverpool has already accomplished their goals, while teams like Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich are already relegated, playing only for pride, which is dwindling by the week. Chelsea may have gained an advantage from facing a demotivated Liverpool, but they still have a tough road ahead. In their final 3 matches, they will face 2 direct competitors for Champions League qualification, Newcastle away next Sunday, which is arguably the most crucial league match left this season, and Nottingham Forest on the final day. Those matches promise to be intense. In between those clashes, Chelsea will host Manchester United, a team whose league form has been dismal this season. United's focus has shifted entirely to the Europa League, where they see a glimmer of hope for Champions League qualification if they can win it. They haven't won any of their last 6 league matches and recently suffered a chaotic 4-3 defeat to Brentford. Tottenham is in a similar boat, having faltered in the league as their attention turns to the Europa League. Their only league victory in the last 9 games was against a struggling Southampton side. They will face Aston Villa next and then Brighton, who are still vying for 8th place and a potential Europa League spot on the final day. This season has added a layer of complexity with 2 major teams in the lower half of the table whose focus is clearly not on the league. For Arsenal, with their title hopes dashed, the focus has shifted to Europe. Their upcoming Champions League semi-final second leg against Paris Saint-Germain will be pivotal for their season. If they can overturn a first leg deficit, they'll be just 1 game away from a historic season. Even with tough matches against Liverpool and Newcastle ahead, a home game against Southampton on the final day means their Champions League qualification is nearly secure. Nottingham Forest, often the surprise contenders for Champions League spots, have seen their form slip away. Whether it's fatigue or simply a return to the mean, they've lost 4 of their last 5 matches. A win against Crystal Palace in their game in hand could level them with Newcastle and Chelsea, but their final match against Chelsea looms large. Among the teams vying for Champions League spots, Aston Villa appears to have the easiest path ahead, facing the Europa League contenders and Bournemouth, who are locked in a battle for Conference League qualification with Brighton, Brentford, and Fulham. The performances of these 4 teams this weekend, 2 wins, a hard-fought draw, and a narrow defeat, indicate they are taking their chances seriously. This leaves us with 8 Premier League teams still laser-focused on their league positions. However, that's less than half of the clubs in the division. It's a strange situation, and while no one is to blame, this final month of the season has been unsettlingly filled with matches that carry little significance for many teams. On this day in history, back in 1926-27, Middlesbrough's George Campbell set a remarkable record by scoring 59 goals, leading his team to the 2nd Division title. Even in an era of prolific goal-scoring following the 1925 offside law change, that achievement seemed extraordinary. Yet, it was short-lived, as the following year, Everton's Bill Dean, affectionately known as Dixie, surpassed it. Dean, who joined Everton from Tranmere in 1925, had a rocky start but bounced back after a serious injury to score 60 goals in the 1927-28 season, claiming the record in a thrilling match against Arsenal. The game ended in a 3-3 draw, but Dean's achievement remains etched in history. This is just a glimpse into the world of soccer, where every match tells a story, and every season brings its own twists and turns.